Yep. Okay. Oh man, I've really done it. Sometimes in life, it's easy to be overwhelmed by all the distractions and all the decisions you have to make. And oftentimes in our musical journey, the same thing can happen. We're just overloaded by all the technology, and there's just so many options, it's hard to be creative. Going back to the basics can be the key to clearing your mind and unlocking your creativity. In today's video, we'll take a look at a piece of gear that's simple, sturdy, and a lot of fun to use. Hey everybody, it's Sammy, your favorite Ozark Canadian. And this is the TEAC Tascam Series 80-8 Multitrack Recorder from 1976. These things cost a pretty penny back in the day. $3,500 was the list price for one of these back in 76. What does that translate into today's money? $19,500. Now you may be thinking, Sammy, who's going to drop $2,500 a channel on something like this? We have to rewind the clock back. It's really easy for us these days to take advantage of the technology that we have available to us. It was not the case like that back in the day. The comparable unit that you could get close to this would have costed you in today's money $56,000 for an 8-track machine. So spending $19,000 in today's money on an 8-track machine was revolutionary. It actually made it possible for you to actually get one of these. We had a previous video about our TEAC Series 3 Model 3 mixer console. These two often would go together. You'd buy one of these and you'd buy one of these, and boy, you'd start doing some recording. Let's take a look at the literature here. They were real proud of these when they first came out. More for your multi-track dollar is what the literature says here from TEAC in 1976. The design velocity of the 80-8 bows to no sacred cow because our goal is simply to produce machines capable of turning out a commercial product. And that was the thing. Maybe back then you could get a little quarter-inch reel-to-reel to cut some demos on, but you couldn't do real multi-track recording. And with this, you can do layered multi-track recording, and that was also another game changer for the home recordist because you could play the drums, then you could lay down the bass, play some guitar, play a little piano, lay down a vocal, and then do a sweet guitar solo if you wanted to. All the world was your oyster at that point. Let's take a deep look into the features of the TEAC 80-8. The TEAC 80-8 multi-track recorder is fully featured. It runs on half-inch reel-to-reel tapes. Like the RTM 911 formulation, which I find to have a very pleasant sound on this machine. You've got a lot of built-in features, including memory. That's right. When you set the counter here to 0 and you engage the memory button, when you hit the rewind button, the memory will stop there. That's very helpful when you're got a song maybe halfway in a tape or a third of the way. It kind of serves as a stopping point for you. Then you've got function select. These buttons right here select which tracks are armed for recording. So you could choose to just arm one if you're going one at a time, and then maybe you finish track 1, and now we'll arm track number 2. Maybe you're recording a few instruments at once. We'll do 1 through 4 all together. Maybe you're recording a whole group ensemble together, and you want to record to all the tracks at once. You do whatever you like. And then you simply disarm each track. Now it's important to remember to disarm them, because when you hit record, if one's lit up, it's going to be taped over. And the beauty of analog tape is when you tape over something, there is no undo. It's gone forever. We've got our output selection here, being from the different head selections that you have. You can monitor from the input, which is directly from the inputs that come in from the back. You can hear from the playback head or the record head, or you can monitor from the playback head. There are 3 heads in this configuration. You have the erase head, you have the record playback head, and then you have the playback monitor head. And then this cue here is when you're in playback mode. If you put the cue up, you can hear the tape kind of whirling by really fast or in slow, fast and rewind, so you can kind of hear where you're at. Or when you're doing some scrubbing for edits. You've got simple transport controls: record, pause, play, rewind, fast forward, and a big stop button, because sometimes you just need to stop. Nice locking hubs here, which easily lock on your different reel configurations, and we'll go over soon how to set it up with the reel-to-reel tape. You've got your capstan, and you've got your guides here, and when you engage this one up, it engages the motor. Down below, you've got the 8 channels. Each channel has its own dedicated VU meter. Some of the lamps are burned out in mine. That's a project for another video, getting these replaced, because you have to solder in the individual little lamps. Each channel has its own gain knob, and in the literature, TEAC recommends that the sweet spot is 7. It's kind of like the faders over on their console. The rear connections of the TEAC 80-8 couldn't be simpler. You've got 8 RCA inputs. You've got 8 RCA outputs. And those are the only audio connections you can make. There's no MIDI, there's no light pipe, there's no ADAT, and there's nowhere to put your email address. Next, we've got the connector for the remote control for the RC71. We've got the power cable next to that, and here on the other end, we've got this unmarked cable. If you're wondering what this is for the TEAC DX-8, which is a dBX noise reduction module that you can connect to this unit. I do have one of these, but the relays aren't firing properly in it at the moment. I'm working on getting it repaired, but I think we'll be fine without it. Just know that without noise reduction, you're going to hear a little more of that tape hiss. And one of these units will teach you. You'll learn real quick if you really do like that tape hiss, because you're going to get a lot of it. To get connected, couldn't be easier. Take an 8-channel RCA snake and simply connect it to the outputs. Those outputs connect to the inputs of your console. Next, connect the inputs with another RCA 8-channel snake, and then connect those to the outputs of your console. Connect your remote control, plug the power in, and you are ready to go. Let's start with the take-up reel. We're going to mount that over here on this side. And using the nice hub locks, we'll go ahead and twist that into place. Next, we'll get our roll of RTM SM911. High quality tape, says it's made in France. Sounds fancy. We'll get that loaded up next onto the tape machine. Now what we'll do is we'll take our tape and carefully weaving it through all the areas of the tape path. When I'm installing the tape, I like to make sure that I get a couple of good rotations on the take-up reel. Once you feel like you've got a good lock, that's about it. It's that simple. We can hit play. And there she turns. We're loaded up and ready to start doing some recording. I think that's a good place to go next. Now let's start looking at how to record our first track. Our tape machine is fully connected to our TEAC Model 3 console, with the buses on the outputs coming to the inputs of the tape machine, and the outputs of the tape machine coming to the inputs of the TEAC. The first question you have to ask is, what will I record? The first thing we've got here is a cassette recording with a nice little drum groove on it. This is a JVC KD D4 stereo cassette deck. We'll power it up, and we'll load our cassette tape inside. I have run the tape outputs from the machine to the input of channel 1 on the console. We're going to put our drums on channel 1 on our tape deck, so let's go ahead and select function select 1 so that we record to 1. I'll go ahead and hit play on my cassette deck, and now we'll watch the levels on our console. Now our groove is coming in. We can see it on the meters here, and we can hear it playing back. As we take a look at the meters on the tape deck, we see that the meters are giving us a healthy amount of level, and it's okay if every once in a while on the transients you hit that overload. You'll get a little of that tape compression everybody talks about. Alright, we seem to have a pretty healthy level there on our little groove, so we'll go ahead and stop this. We'll go back to the beginning of our tape, and you want to start the recording on the machine first, before you hit playback. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit play and record at the same time. You hold down record while pushing play, and then at the same time, after we've gotten started, we'll go ahead and push play on our cassette deck. Now our groove is being laid down. This groove comes from the Dead Drums collection. You should check it out. Very high quality work. And that's the end of our drum groove. We'll stop our tape playback medium, and we'll stop the recording function by pushing the big stop button. Next, let's go back and review our recording to make sure we got something down. Since we have the memory select activated, we'll push the rewind button, and it'll get us back to our 0 point. We've got our tape rewinded back to 0. Let's go ahead and push play. We'll hear this coming out of submix 1. And there it is. It's got a little noise, mainly because the cassette tape was pretty dirty. But I like it. Next up, we're going to record some synthesizer onto track number 3. Using the console, I've got the keyboard inputted into channel number 2, and then using the bus system, we're routing it to channel number 3 on our recorder. So you'll see here as I play a little bit on my keyboard that channel 3, the meter, is moving on the recorder. You'll notice also I'm using my computer to make the sounds for this section of the video. There's no shame in continuing to use your DAW. Just because you get an analog tape machine does not mean that you have to forego all things digital. There's a lot of great free tools out there. It will cost me a lot of money to get this all put together. So I'm going to output from my computer here into the console, and we're going to lay that down. The cool thing is, because there's no MIDI, there's no do-over, I got to try to play it right. Also, the handy RC71 comes in handy right now. I don't have to be over by the machine. So we can get our track set up and recording, and then we can start playing a little groove. So we're going to do that next. I'm going to activate the record function, and then I'll play down a little keyboard part. There we go. Now we should be cooking. Now we're in record mode. Now we wait for the drums to come back in. We'll let that tail finish. Oh, a little bit extra. Okay, we'll stop the tape right there. How about we go back and listen to what we did? Turn off number 3 there, and then we'll hit play here. Okay. just like that, you can lay down something real cool. Let's move on to our next track. All right, let's put some bass down on this track of ours. I've gone ahead and activated track number 2, and we're going to come into channel number 8 here on the console because it has high Z inputs, which is perfect for this bass guitar. We're just going to plug it direct into the console, get some tone here dialed in. Let's see what we got. There we go, a little bass tone for you, and make sure our levels sound good. Sounds like a bass to me. All right, all we got to do now is make sure our level's coming in here where we want it to go. We've routed using the bus routing to track number 2 on our tape machine here. And as you can see, if I thump on the bass a little bit here, the lights and the VU meter is moving on channel number 2. All right, let's get a little bass put down on this track. Got to remember to cue the tape up. Here we go. That one felt a little better. We'll see what the playback says. It's not perfect, but I think it'll work. Chasing perfection can be a mistake. Let's lay down another track. I already know I like that, so what we're going to do is we're going to double it. What we're going to do is record onto channel number 5, and once again, go back to my Model 3 video about how to set up the routing on this, because I don't have to change anything but push a couple of buttons, and we're going to be set up and ready to record on channel number 5. What I'm going to do is reach over here and select bus number 1. Now you're like, Sammy, I thought we were going to 5. You got to go back and watch the video. The way that this routes out of here for the one guy. Look at there. We're already coming in on number 5. We've got to go ahead and turn up the channel on the mixer over here in the sub mixer so we can hear it. And we're going to get ready to do this overdub of a double. Okay, check 1, 2. There we go. Channel 5, same level, same settings. We're ready to go. We'll go ahead and deselect that. And now to make it real sweet, we're going to pan those guitars left and right in our submixer. Let's hear what we got. Huh? I'd call that a win. Let's lay down some vocals on our track. We're going to select track number 6. and I've got channel number 3 on the console routed out to channel number 6 on the recording machine. I've got a little compression running through this voice processor here, and our microphone is ready to go. Let's see what we can get. I never knew, I never knew, I never knew, I never knew. I think that sounded good. Make sure we got our recording done. We'll go ahead. We know it's not in the first part. Should hear that vocal coming in. I never knew. There it is. I never knew. I never knew. I never knew. Okay, that's great. We're going to go ahead and record the double of that vocal on track number 7. And we're just going to switch our routing over here. Check 1, 2, there we go. We're on number 7 now. I just selected bus number 3. Remember, go back to the Model 3 video to understand why pushing 3 makes 7 pop up over here. I never knew, I never knew, I never knew, I never knew. We'll go ahead and run this here. And now we can put a little pan on our vocal. I have been noticing some high end dropping out on this. Before I recorded this video, I did a bunch of stuff on this tape, and I'm worried I may have wore it out. I'm not sure. There's our vocal. I never knew. She's a little hot. I never knew. 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 Never knew. I like it. Let's lay down our final track on channel number 8. I've got it selected here, and we've got an electric guitar we're going to play a little riff on while we listen to our track. Channel 8 on my machine has got a little bit of an issue. I'm pretty sure that the record erase head on this channel is not working correctly, so I only get to do this once because it doesn't erase it properly if I try to overdub. It's something I'm looking at fixing, and if I get it fixed, I'll make sure I take you along in that process. But let's go ahead and lay this final track down on our little demo song. Let's get her queued up here. I never knew. Well, that was something. Let's go back here and see what we got. Here's what I'm talking about. Hear how it records. It's pretty crazy sounding. I never knew. I never knew. I never knew. I never knew. But at least that demonstrates to you that all 8 channels are filled up. We're going to get channel 8 fixed in the future. Now that our song is finished, let's give it one more listen to see what we ended up with. We'll get our tape queued up here. And we'll hit play. There's a lot of waiting. Got that right. I really like the bass. I never knew. 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 Oh, well, we made something, didn't we? Sounds pretty good. And a little extra at the end. What a marvel she is, the TEAC 80-8 Tascam Series Multitrack Recorder. Now you don't need one of these to make great music, but it can be really neat to get outside of your bubble and try to make some music in ways you never have before. I'll tell you what, when you get lined up with only 8 tracks, you've got to make some critical decisions. A lot of times in our DAW-based worlds, we're so used to just having unlimited options. Not with a machine like this. You're pretty controlled at what she can do. Once again, 8 channels, so you've got to make some serious arrangement decisions. But I find thinking in this way can cause you to go back to those digital systems that we use on the daily, and you'll find that those tricks you learn here will translate there, which means you'll make better music. You'll make better choices about the parts that you make. You may find you don't need as many parts in your songs to make good music. Hey, thanks for stopping by today. I sure hope you enjoyed this video on the TEAC 80-8. I've got more ideas coming out soon, and we'll talk about different ways that you can utilize this and maybe squeeze a little bit more functionality out of her. Thanks for stopping by. As always, I'm Sammy Raycraft, your favorite Ozark Canadian. I hope you have a good one.